Yeah, totally. Do you feel any responsibility for the information that you give out to your audience and what they do with that? Like, for example, some of the like clips that you have, like you can be taken out of context. A lot of those clips, that information that gets out there, knowing that it could be taken out of context.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel responsible for that in any way?
Yeah, for sure. I'm responsible for how people interpret my content. That's the responsibility. If I'm going to make a six-figure salary off making fucking YouTube videos, then there has to be some kind of drawback to that. And the drawback is obviously that my words carry responsibility. I am beholden to the outcomes of what I say. Some of the stuff that I say that gets misinterpreted only serves to get people angry at me, and I don't think that has a negative impact in the world. Like the woke scolds and the transphobia drama, like Vaush is a transphobe, hates non-binary people, or whatever the fuck they say about me. I don't think anything I've said actually motivates people to dislike trans or non-binary people. I mean, I'm pretty fastidiously supportive of these groups, you know. There have been a couple times where I've been concerned about irony poisoning in my audience. Here's an example. Abigail Shapiro, the younger sister of Benny Boy, has done a bit of a YouTube ad run herself, which is hilarious and a disaster and great to make fun of. But while I was covering her video, I noticed that there were people doing the echoes and in the chat, which sometimes they do to make fun of the perceived dog whistling of right-leaning people. Like, for example, if I'm watching a conservative video maker or something like that, and they say, they don't want you to have children. Well, who's they? You know, and then I'll say, who's they, and chat will spam the echoes. And the joke is, we're making fun of the fact that they're dog whistling, you know, the Jewish question. But if you're doing the echo signs just because a Jewish woman is talking, you're doing the thing. You're not making fun of other people dog whistling the thing. You're just doing it yourself. Later, people made comments about her nose. I was shocked. I didn't see it in chat at the time because I get pretty wrapped up in video critiquing when I'm actually looking at the video. But people sent me screenshots afterwards, and I had to get a master list of these people to see how many of them were actually like Nazis. What I found was that most of them weren't. I think a lot of these were just like 15 to 16-year-olds who just think it's like it was just funny, and they just don't understand the context behind what makes it funny, which is how communities die. This is how satire-oriented communities like Gamers Rise Up or Political Compass memes end up turning into shitholes. Because what is initially satire turns into a sincere advocacy for terrible ideas. You have to be careful about that. So I've been trying to be better about that. Also, like the femoid thing. Saying femoid is funny because you're making fun of like the sort of reflexive misogyny of online, you know, right-leaning group saying like, oh, these femoids, they're trying to steal our money, alimony, something like that. It's funny, you know, if done properly. But sometimes there were people in my chat who would just start spamming femoid whenever a person with a feminine voice came on. What if they were non-binary? What if they were a trans man? What if they were what if they just had a feminine voice, you know? At that point, you've circled right around and you're going back to unironically enforcing the same standards I'm trying to make fun of with the use of that word. I understand that this has been a long answer, but this is something that I've tried to be a little bit more critical of in my streams, and also be more fastidious about calling people out on that. That said, I don't think it's a serious issue in my community, because it's a problem that I recognize, and when I talk about it, chat understands that it's an issue. So, for that reason, I am not too concerned about the future of the community and the irony poisoning.
Yeah, no, that was my next question, is how you feel how do you hold yourself responsible for that? And I do remember I've actually watched that stream live where with Abigail, and I remember you called them out like the next stream and stuff, and I was like, I mean, not like impressed, like that's what you should do, but like obviously, like yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, of course. It's just a natural keeping track of your community in that respect is very, 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 very important. There's no risk of my community becoming right-leaning, of course, because I'm very left-leaning. So it'd be like, why would they watch? You know, I'm not like Joe Rogan or something. I don't have like this big gulf of like centrists in the middle that could be radicalized by alt-right people in my chat. You know, that's not really a possibility. But it is still something to, you know, keep in mind.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost like that feeling of like, you know, having like that cool uncle randomly like, you know, get on your ass about something because you did something wrong. It's like that feeling like, you know, you messed up, but you look up to them, and it's tough for you to you know, make sure they don't do it again, but also have them like look up to you and stuff.
Oh, you say that.
Like,
I love shouting in my chat. It makes me feel great. So it's it hurts them far more than it hurts me, you know.
Austin, so how does it feel like that? I mean, you talk about chat a lot and stuff. How does it feel that like thousands of people watch you constantly and look up to you? And they feel like they have a sense relationship with you, even though like they might not even have a personal connection, but thousands of people just look up to you so much. How do you feel about that?
It's something that I try to discourage for the most part, but I also recognize that parasocial relationships need to be weaponized to be most useful. For example, I get a lot of hate online by a lot of fucking crazies, you know? Now, most fans of mine are going to see this and think, oh, that's crazy, and not have their opinion of me changed. But other people who aren't fans of mine might see that and be more persuaded. So it's to my benefit that my fans feel an interest in defending me online, which they're more likely to do if they have sort of like a weird investment in my well-being. I want my chat to have an investment in my well-being. I want my chat to defend me when they feel I'm being treated unfairly. But I don't want them to think that I have a relationship with them. That defense from them of me isn't them protecting a friend, because I'm not their friend. It's them defending ideas and a person who they think holds value. I can defend, for example, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or Bernie Sanders without believing erroneously that they are my friend. In fact, I do, and I have, and many people in the chat have as well. And I think that's fine and healthy. If people are to defend me, I want them to do it for the right reasons, not because they think I'm their friend. I do sometimes get emails from people who treat me with a degree of familiarity that I'm not comfortable with. I don't mean like they send me nudes or whatever. I mean like they'll tell me about like their day, and they'll ask me for advice on like a personal problem. And like, dude, I don't fucking know. I'm a fucking 26-year-old, okay? I am so at this point sheltered from the problems that my audience has. There are so many people like watching. The idea of me being able to take my time out to like directly address one individual's problems, it's impossible. But I don't want to let these people down and make them feel bad. I usually give them kind of a cursory answer, but it is an issue. It's never going to stop being an issue either. What most people do at my size, by the way, is they get a secretary to filter their emails. That's what most people do. I know Destiny does that, or I don't know if he would call it a secretary, but somebody filters the emails. I don't. I see every email that I get, so eventually that might have to be done, but I do like being able to see every email.
Yeah, I think that same logic, like Elon Musk, for example, people look up to him, but he's just a person too, and a bad person at that too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, people are fucking crazy for Elon. People have a fucking crazy relationship with Elon Musk. There are a lot of wannabe tech moguls out there who think that by buying a Tesla and keeping up with the stonks and buying Bitcoin, they're going to turn into the next, big thing. It's really, really sad seeing the aesthetic of futurism, aesthetic and political tendency which generally criticizes the ultra-wealthy, being used to justify a parasocial relationship with one of the wealthiest people on the planet as he, like, rapes what's left of it. It's really fucking weird.
Yeah, no, I agree.